Hey guys, how are you doing today? So I'm going to be talking to you about alternatives. Why? Because when I first started into my vegan journey, I was pretty much scared because 50% of my nutrition used to be only dairy. Yep, I would make a sandwich and I would put 3 different types of cheese, mayo, cream cheese, regular cheese, and any other type of cheese that I could find, it would be on there. And it would be very sloppy and very full of dairy. So when I decided to go plant-based, I was pretty worried because I felt like nothing could ever replace that. But I found out pretty quickly that I was wrong. There are so many tasty alternatives, and in fact, most of them taste a lot better than actual regular dairy products. And even my husband, who's Lebanese and full-on dairy, even prefers the mayo that we have, prefers the butter that we use, and prefers a lot of the different alternatives that we have, even the sour cream that we usually use. He prefers that one over the regular one. So they are that tasty, and they are becoming more and more common, and there's more and more companies that are starting to sell them. So you'll never feel deprived, and there's so many different options. You can try different brands, different companies, see which one floats your boat a little bit more. So you can now find a lot at Walmart, local Walmarts, Whole Foods, and if you live in Ottawa where we are, I often go to Pantry Plus. So I'm gonna walk you guys through a few of the alternatives that I use, my favorite ones, what I like and not like about certain of the companies that I've tried. So my number one thing that I use in my coffee is this So Delicious French Vanilla Coconut Coffee Creamer. This is the only one that I can use, and I've tried so many different types. And you can now find this one in the natural food section at Independent and stuff like that, and Whole Foods and Pantry Plus, Cardish, places like that. It is so amazing, and it takes away from having to add any sugar or anything like that, and it's so good and creamy. I've tried everything else, nothing floated my boat except for this one. Cream cheese used to be huge for me, and this is the one that I've grown to fall in love with. It's from Tofu Tea. They have a cream cheese that I usually have. I thought I had, but I'm out, so I won't be able to share it with you today. But it's from the same company, and I get this one at Pantry Plus. And so they are side by side, the cream cheese and the sour cream. You can also get from the Daya company. They have a regular cream cheese, a strawberry cream cheese, and a few other flavors that you can get. The strawberry one is very good and creamy, but it's a treat for me. If I go for regular cream cheese, this is the one that I use. Now, cheese was a big one for me, and I love cheese so much, and they have so many different options. So I have 4 different ones. So the cream cheese, they have Earth Island that is made from coconut, I believe. So there's this one. Lucas loves this one. There's these cheese slices that look like regular cheese slices. They're from Tofu Tea as well. So Lucas loves these ones. These are the ones that I bring to his daycare. And these are my favorite ones. When I make grilled cheese or anything like that, this is the one that I use. They are awesome in sandwiches and wraps or anything like that. And then if I want the shredded type, I go for the regular Daya. So they have the white one, they have the orange one, and they have like a pepper jack that's kind of like a spicy mix one. So I usually keep these frozen, and I just take what I need, like for nachos or for certain dishes that I make. Everything else I kind of keep in the fridge. Now, if you're telling me, oh, I'm an ice cream lover, I love ice cream, guys, you have to try this one. My ultimate favorite one. From So Delicious again, and I just took it out of the freezer. You can see the froth on it. But this cashew base, it's salted caramel, is to freaking die for. So this one and the one that I have below, which is a chocolate hazelnut fudge, it's a different company. It's from Coconut Bliss. Very tasty. They have so many different options, and they are in the freezer here at Independence anyways, in the frozen section. So you do have a lot of different alternatives, and you can pretty much compare them to Dagen Haas. Like, they're so good, so creamy, and super satisfying. Like, you will not be missing ice cream. And that's besides the ice cream that you can make at home with like super natural whole foods. Mayo is a big one. Now, I usually buy the the purple one from Earth Island, and it's made with grapeseed oil. At the moment, this is the one that they had at the store, so this is the one that I use now. But my husband, who's like makes a lot of different dips with mayonnaise, loves this way better than regular mayo. And so this is completely vegan, so you won't get any stomach aches or anything like that from having too much. And it is tasty and awesome in everything that you would use regular mayo in. If you love, like if you're going to a barbecue or parties or anything like that and want hot dogs, these are the two kinds that I go for. So this is the one I can find at Walmart, and there's the jumbo veggie dogs. I've tried a lot of different ones. This is the one that I seem to go for, that Lucas loves. These are the ones that I prefer, and you can buy these at the Pantry Plus, Cardish, places like that. But these ones are a lot more heavier and a lot spicier, so my kids don't like these ones as much, but these are definitely tastier for adults. In the cheese section, this is a local company from Hawkesbury here, and they are cashew cheese. So this is a lot pricier, but it's so good. And so I usually keep it frozen until I'm ready to take it out. You can see the frost on it. This is a sun-dried tomato, and you can usually buy it through their website, or if you go to like events that they host, they usually give you sales and specials, and you can just buy them a lot cheaper. I usually buy like 10 at a time. If you want to go a little bit more processed, something quick to go, I like to have these burritos on hand all the time. So they have a breakfast one that's made, it's like a tofu scramble. It's loaded with organic vegetables and all sorts of stuff. It's awesome. Same thing with this bean and rice burrito. Like, I don't have these often, but I always have some in the freezer so that if I'm on the go and have too many things going on and the kids are hungry, I just pull that out, put it in a microwave or heat it in the oven. And they are like super nutritious. And although more processed than what we are usually have, at least it's a healthy alternative. And these you can find at Independent in the frozen section, in the natural food section. Miso is super high in protein. It's fermented soybeans. You can find the different colors or the different taste, like depending on the color you choose, it'll play an effect on how strong it is. So this is the red, you can see. They have yellow, orange, all sorts of different ones. And it's basically just fermented soybean. It's like a paste. So if you want to make a soup or anything like that, especially if you're sick, it's very, very salty, and all you have to do is boil water. What I do is I boil water, I put it in my Vitamix with 1 big tablespoon of miso with a little bit of sriracha sauce and hoisin sauce, and I mix it together in a blender, and it's like an instant soup that's super healing and it's so good. This is what I use to replace my butter. Same thing for Eli, who loves butter. So this is what we use instead. It's called Earth Balance. And this is the big tub, as you can see. Independent has smaller ones as well that you can find. But if you are a person that loves butter, you will absolutely love this. Now, a little bit more into processed again. If you are looking to make like a tomato sauce, or if you're making if you're a person that likes to make homemade meat spaghetti sauce and all that stuff, you can use this ground veggie instead. It's super tasty, obviously more processed, but at least it's a very good alternative, especially for kids. This is what I bring to Lucas's daycare so that his food is a lot more like the other kids, so that he doesn't feel deprived in any way. So I usually always have these on hand at daycare, and then whatever sauce that they make, they just add this to it. And it's full of B12 and all the extra vitamins that they add to it, so that it's super nutritious. And then same thing for like these little bites. Walmart and Independent, all those places have these little bites. So I try to always have some of these on hand, and I usually freeze them so they stay good longer. And they're just kind of like a good little snack to have if you need something very quick and you don't have time to make something. You're way better off going for something like this and just adding it to like a spaghetti and sauce kind of thing than you are eating on junk food, right? So people often ask me about B12, and my answer definitely is nutritional yeast. So nutritional yeast, look, it kind of looks like, it's kind of funny, but it kind of looks like fish food, But this is freaking amazing. 1 tablespoon of this baby is 150% of your daily dose of B12. So you spray, it has like a nutty and a cheesy flavor at the same time. So you can mix this in pasta, over nachos, over pizza, whatever you want. You put 1 tablespoon of that and you're good to go. You don't even need the full tablespoon. And then often when you make like cheese sauces and stuff like that, often the recipes will ask for nutritional yeast. So that's what it is. And you can buy it in bulk at say Bulk Barn, Whole Foods, and places like that. You may hear often about tempeh. So tempeh, again, is fermented soybean, kind of like the miso. It is super bitter taste. Like, personally, it does not taste the best, but there's a lot of different ways you can make it so that it tastes better. I do sloppy joes with them, but the best thing to do prior is to steam. Steaming it will remove a lot of the bitterness in it, and then you can marinate it in different homemade sauces and stuff like that, and then bake it or fry it and then make sandwiches with it. It's super good for you. Like, I mean, if you look at it, it's 19 grams of protein per 100 grams. Like, it's super, super protein based, but it does not taste the best. So you have to try a lot of different recipes. There's so many out there, a lot of different alternatives that you can do. And I just wanted to pull out the Udo's oil that I just got today for the first time. Tony Robbins was talking about it so much at his event. One of the days was all about nutrition and health and what to do just to be healthier, because there's a lot of stuff that they add to everything is processed. Everything that we consume, what we put on our skin, everything is toxic, and our body is just flooded with so much toxins. So he was talking a lot about Udo's oil and how you should be consuming, starting about a tablespoon a day, and just trying to like implement it in different things that you're doing. So whether you're putting it in a salad or your smoothie or anything like that, it's a blend of omega-3, 6, and 9. And the more you have that, the more it's brain food, the more it's good for you, the more it releases toxins and stuff like that. And he was talking also about, it goes even back to like your deodorants. All the deodorants that we have pretty much are loaded with aluminum so that we don't smell and sweat that much, but that is super toxic for our bodies. So I went out and I got this one. That's the one, it's a one that I've known for a really long time. And so I decided to try this one, and just to show you, there's no aluminum, but there's a lot of different local companies that you can try, and I mean, way better for you. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is hemp seeds. So hemp seeds is a staple in my home. I use it so much. I showed you yesterday in my video the big massive bag that I got from Hemp Seed Canada, I think it's called. I got a 10-liter bag for $89, which is pretty good. And I store a container this size in the freezer at all times. 1 tablespoon of this is 4 grams of protein. So I usually add 2 to 4 tablespoons in my smoothies every day. Now I tend to have 2 to 3 smoothies every day just because I'm not good at drinking water. So I usually have, I'll have a I guess we can call it like a pre-workout drink that's natural before my runs, and then I'll go for my run. After that, I'll have my fully loaded nutrient-dense super shake. After that, I'll have probably a green smoothie, and this is when I load it up with hemp seeds, flax seeds, and chia seeds. So there's another huge boost of like all sorts of good protein and omega-3s, 6, and 9s added to it. And then in the afternoon when I do my second workout or my second run, then I'll do a recovery shake. So I do tend to have 2 to 3 smoothies a day just to make sure that I load up a lot on liquids, because I do tend to be really bad at consuming a lot of liquids. But hemp seeds are definitely the best go-to for natural plant-based protein, and it's one of the better ones to use. It is a little bit more on the pricier side, but I mean, you can make hemp milk, you can sprinkle it in your salads, you can sprinkle it in your pasta. I put it over my nachos, I put it in my energy balls, you use it everywhere. So those are some of the alternatives that I use. It's not that complicated. I know it can seem scary at times. Obviously this is a little bit more on the processed side, but just so you know, if you are thinking of going plant-based and you are scared of alternatives, or you're scared that you're going to feel deprived, or that you're not going to have all the dairy that you're used to having, don't worry about it. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and it's actually a lot tastier and better than you think. And there's a lot of different options out there that are even better than the regular ones. So all I have to do is go and try and see how you feel. I mean, even trying it for a full week, you would feel a lot of different benefits. When I first went plant-based, some of you may not know my background and my story is I used to be very, very sick. I'm hypoglycemic, so if I didn't eat every 2 to 3 hours, I would start getting the shakes. I would get very nauseous. Often I would throw up, and just feeling sick all the time. So when I started marathon training, it went from bad to worse. I couldn't even run 10K without throwing up. It was awful. And so that is when I was looking for I tried a lot of different diets, a lot of different combinations, and that is when I fell upon this 30-day plant-based challenge that I decided to do with 2 of my friends. And within 24 hours of cutting out dairy and meat, I lost all my bloatiness. Within a week, my blood sugar leveled. And that is why I never looked back. My skin cleared, my head became clearer. I lost 20 pounds over my first month, and I never looked back. And when I did have cheese after that, I got sick immediately. So I figured out I was intolerant, which is why I was often sick. And figured out also that a lot of the stuff I was using to run had dairy in it, making me even sicker on my runs. So now I use our blend from our performance line. It's called Energize before my runs, and I use our blend called Hydrate during my runs. They're all natural ingredients, so my body absorbs it very, very well. And then for my long runs, I use my homemade gels from Brendan Brazier's book, which is basically dates, chia seeds, water, lemon, and salt. So it's all natural, and I buy little homemade, the baby food that you buy, these things. I bought them on Amazon, and I can making one recipe from Brendan Brazier fills up about 4 to 6 of those, and then I just freeze them. So I have some on hand at all times, and then your body easily absorbs the dates, and it's a slow releasing carb, so your body better absorbs it, and you're able to run longer and feeling fuller longer and energized longer. So it's awesome. But that being said, don't be scared of trying plant-based. You don't have anything to lose. If you're ever at that stage, just know there are so many different alternatives. There's nothing to be scared of, and there's so many different tasty options. Hope you have enjoyed this, and if ever you have any questions or need any information or any suggestions or concerns, feel free to send me a message. There's nothing I love more than talking about these different options and plans and meal plans with people. Hope you have a good one.